Hey, thank you.
Is there?
I see him.
I didn't get a chance to say hi.
Yeah, good to see you, Kurt. Holy.
Yeah, nice
Good music again.
Yeah.
You got to come out with an album.
Yeah. We have, we the Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance are really proud to be here aboard the Sea Shepard once again. Operation Virus Hunter 3.
Yeah.
Want to acknowledge that we're on the territory of the Musqueam people. We share this part of the world there with the Tsleil-Waututh and the what's the other one?
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, they're all sailors.
So we want to also acknowledge that we're on the part of the Salish Sea. The Salish Sea is shared with the state of Washington, and the state of Washington, as you all know, have decided to phase out fish farms.
Woo!
Yes. Give them a big round of applause there. We have Kurt Beardsley from the Wild Fish Conservancy in the state of Washington. And we're linking arms with the people down in the state of Washington. The indigenous and the non-indigenous people of Washington want Canada to remove open net pen fish farms, because if we don't, then it's going to compromise the state of Washington's intention to conserve and restore wild salmon runs. Wild salmon are faced with a grave danger, open net pen fish farms, and they must be removed from the Salish Sea. Once that happens, then the entire coast, the Pacific coast, will be open net pen fish farm free, and that's what we want. We are from the Fraser Valley. I'm Stalo. We're the people of the river, and we're also the salmon people. The fish farms are threatening our right to fishery. Over the past years, there are too many salmon that have come up the Fraser River looking really sick. There's escaped farm salmon that have been swimming up the rivers. We've witnessed too many pre-spawn deaths. And we know from the science, the accumulation of all the scientific evidence, scientific studies that have been peer-reviewed, have told us very clearly that fish farms are causing serious harm to our wild salmon. And now we're at the last stand for wild salmon, my dear ones, the last stand. And that's why we've decided to move ahead with the last stand for wild salmon paddle. And the purpose of that is to support the legal action that has been taken by the Zawadeno Nation, as well as the Namgis Nation. And we understand my friend here is needing some financial support for the legal action that he's engaged in as well. And it's all about getting the fish farms out of the water. It is astounding that in the face of so much clear evidence, the Pacific Salmon Foundation has decided to recommend to the Canadian government to remove open net pen fish farms and move them onto land in containment. That's the best advice he could get. There's no need to set up any more advisory councils. The Pacific Salmon Foundation is the best advisory council you could ever get. The federal government and the provincial government always say, oh, we follow science-based evidence. Well, there's your science-based evidence that fish farms are threatening our wild salmon, they're threatening our herring, they're threatening the clam beds, and they must be removed at the earliest possibility. John Horgan is engaged in discussions with some of the people up in the Broughton Archipelago, the indigenous people in that area. We only hope that they will come to their senses and remove those doggone fish farms out of that area. And if they're able to do that, it will be a signal to all the rest of the people along the coast that those fish farms need to be out. We don't have 4 more years. 4 more years is going to be too late. Our wild salmon are already endangered. I'm so proud of Hereditary Chief George Fox-Sister Jr. and Dr. Alexandra Morton. This is a very powerful force to come together with the Sea Shepherd and conduct the Operation Virus Hunter and be able to show the world in no uncertain terms that fish farms are harming wild salmon. It's as clear as the nose on everybody's face that wild salmon are being endangered by the open net pen fish farms. Why is the government still hesitant? Why is the government still stalling? Why is the government still making excuses to continue on business as usual with this dirty, destructive industry? The technology is all wrong. Open net pen fish farms, you can never, ever regulate such an industry to be sustainable. And that's one of the reasons why Washington decided to phase out open net pen fish farms. So we, the people of the river, we want to join up with the growing international coalition that is forming right now. I'm so happy that we have the indigenous people in the state of Washington together with the leadership of Kurt Beardsley with the Fish Farm Conservancy, and even with Jay Inslee, who has recommended that Canada remove open net pen fish farms. I'm going to ask my dear friend, Vice President of our Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance, Tracy Lister, to share a few words to you.
Thank you, Ed.